midfielders. This is a rather big topic, so I wanted to make sure we devoted enough time to midfielders. There's been a lot of good pickups here in the Premiership as far as just midfielders in general. I mean, we can talk about attacking ones, box-to-box midfielders, or more defensive-minded midfielders if you would like. But yeah, let's talk about it. Midfielders. Who have we been surprised about?
Surprised about?
Or just who do we like? Is there anybody that we like?
So for
Couple
me,
of good ones.
Who?
Couple of good ones for sure. I've got.
All right, okay.
Up you, Mags.
The one that really kind of piqued my interest was Demarai Gray coming back to the Premiership, signing for Everton from his year in the Bundesliga with Leverkusen.
Bayer Lederhausen!
Wow, that was shocking.
And slightly xenophobic as well.
If Soccer can do it, I can do it.
I remember when he actually signed for Leicester, and there was a lot of fanfare around him, and he became almost like a utility player for Leicester, able to play pretty much anywhere across the middle of the park. He's primarily a left-sided player, but he was seeming to be getting more game time on the right. He then moved to Leverkusen, I think, was it January? He only played a handful of times before Rafa got him back for 2 million, which is fucking shocking money. Hopefully he's gonna challenge Iwobi on that left wing. Maybe he'll go up against Townsend as well. But yeah, there's spots all over that Everton midfield where I think someone like Demarai Gray can do a good job, especially if there's a hole left by potential James Rodriguez departure. I think that's an astute signing for 2 million. So yeah, I was really happy with Demarai Gray.
That's a great pick for sure, Mags. There may be more than one space available with no midfielder making way, but we'll leave that alone, obviously. Who am I going to go with? I'm going to go to another Leeds signing. I'm going to a Leeds United signing. This is one that I picked for my team of the year last year, actually, in the draft. Jack Harrison for 11 million. He had a standout season last year, and he did the he'd be one of my men to look out for this year for sure. I mean, he didn't make a single appearance for Man City after joining from New York. But last year, obviously, scored 8 goals and 8 assists in 36 appearances. That's not bad from midfield for your first season. And again, I think 11 million is a little bit of a bargain.
And he was on loan at Leeds for 3 years, which is mental. But yeah, last season he was outstanding in that step up to the Premier League to play pretty much every game, scoring 8, assisting 8 is his best return in terms of attack. Yeah, the guy, he loves life in the Premier League, and yeah, it's cool to see he's got a permanent deal at Leeds. He's going to be a star for them for the next few years.
It's very cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring one in here to the fold. Here, I'm gonna go Soumare to Leicester City. Obviously, it was a very early deal, about $22 million. And yeah,
that's around 25 million pounds.
So a dollar's worth more than worth less than a pound now. I love it. Mags.
Yeah, it's about 1.1, I think.
1.3, I think now. Yeah,
something like that. Anyway, still, Soumare was a very capable defensive midfielder for the Lille side that, of course, won the title for Lille. Good for them. And yeah, I feel like he'll bring some added steel to that midfield. Not that they necessarily need it, but you almost wonder if it might be a change of approach for Brendan Rodgers. He does like a good 4-2-3-1 formation at times. Maybe this will see a little bit of a change here for Leicester tactically, but I digress. Very solid player. I feel like he's super talented. And then I'll bring up one more, and I really do like this player here as well, and I can't believe I'm gonna bring up another Arsenal player, but I'll do it. Sambi Lakonga
Let's
from
so do
Anderlecht.
Lakonga.
Yeah, Sambi Lakonga from Anderlecht is a very good signing, I think, as well. How much he will play in Mikel Arteta's Arsenal team this season will remain to be seen. But I think that his skill set, right alongside a player like Thomas Partey, for example, could actually prove very valuable. Sambi Lakonga, he's actually a player probably more in the Mikel Arteta mold, like a deep lying midfielder. He can do playmaking and very good pass distribution. But he's going to be a very good player. And as Chris BFC in the chat says, Anderlecht does produce some really classy midfielders. Sambi Lakonga would be one to look out for this season, I think.
Yeah, I actually compared his output to the rest of the Arsenal central midfield options, and he actually creates more chances per game than Xhaka or Partey. He has a higher successful dribble rate than Xhaka or El Nene. He tackles more than Xhaka or El Nene. He has actually more shots per 90 than Xhaka, Ceballos and El Nene. So him and Thomas Partey will be like steel in the middle of that Arsenal midfield, something that they've lacked. Something that they really, really lacked, and they'll provide the strength for the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe to power forward.
Guru of Matitude in chat does say that he can't say he's seen much of Lakonga to really make a play on how solid he'll be. Definitely check out some clips. I would definitely recommend checking out some clips on him. He does add a dimension to Arsenal that I think that they've needed, especially considering Arsenal for the longest time was known for how disciplined their midfield has been. It seems to be a little bit more unruly these days, but I think that he's a good signing. He's
a great Xhaka though, isn't it? That's why the red cards he gets offsets a little bit. I've got a plethora to go through still from a midfielders, so I'm just going to pick one out at random. I'm going to pick out Emiliano Buendia.
Yeah. We couldn't not mention Buendia. The amount of people raving over this player is unreal.
I had him down for my attacker section personally, but yes, we can. Yeah.
He's a stunning get for sure. Easy for me to say thank you, Chris. The list doesn't help at all. 33 million, I think. Is it the going rate for midfielder nowadays? Who knows? Fair enough. Aston Villa have got an amazing player here, and this is just adding more credence to our joint belief. It feels like that if they can hold on to Grealish, Villa could make a serious play for the European spots this year.
They're not holding on to Grealish.
I know. I'm just saying in general. Mind you, they could still do the same. They may save Grealish and go on and win the FA Cup. For we know, it could happen. We've seen teams lose their best player and get better.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I feel like they could be making a play here. We will wait and see. But yeah, he certainly is a very exciting player that will add a lot of steel, a lot of talent.
If you want one more before we move on to the attacking players, I think a good signing is by Norwich. Actually, it's the loan of Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, I had Billy Gilmore on man. It'll be interesting to see how well that step up to the Premier League is for him. I know he's played a handful of games for Chelsea, but consistent game time will be see if he can kind of keep being that star that he showed in the Euros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris has mentioned in the chat one that I had on my list, Enoch Wepu. I think that's a very cheap, astute signing. I also had
it's a great deal.
I had Theo Walcott. I think him going back to Southampton is kind of like it's almost like a story rather than a really big signing. But the last one that I think we need to mention is Bryan Gil signing from Sevilla to Tottenham. unable to break through that Sevilla youth system, couldn't get into the first squad. But when he was out on loan at Ligans and then for Arbal last season, he stood out so well that he actually broke into the Spain squad. He debuted against Greece, and he can also play pretty much anywhere across the middle of the park. He's going to be an outstanding signing for Tottenham. Whether he will have the attackers to be able to feed is another matter with Kane's potential move. But yeah, they're picking up a really strong, pacey midfielder who can also chip in with goals. I think he's got 10 goals in his 77 league appearances. So yeah, I think that'll be a really interesting signing.
And the smart deal there as well is that in addition to buying him, it also sent Lamella the other way as well, which means they've got someone who is usually nailed on for red card when we see him play on Tekkers. So it's so at least Spurs is gonna.
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss sending in Lamella to murder.
I was going to note that I do feel as though it is going to be really difficult for Tottenham to not have that ace up their sleeve where they can just send somebody out to cause absolute mayhem.
Maybe Bryan Gil could do that as well. Who knows?
Perhaps.